recording.
Oh man, so okay, that just made me think.
You can't
Can you
reference
imagine
things from before we were on
No,
the
no,
air.
no, no. I'm kind of, but not really.
Okay.
So you know how people and their pets sometimes start looking like each other and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
there's
if your
threads on
house
this.
elf? Yeah, what if your house elf just started looking like the head of the household? So it's like this little tiny version with gigantic ears and like the pointy out nose and everything, just wearing no
Oh my
clothes.
God.
It'd be great.
Master has me in a potato sack.
Oh man, and look, Thista's in the chat. You would have been in so much
Oh.
trouble. Oh, the trouble. Now Thista's ears are burning. She's like, what?
She probably already knew we've been talking about Ian. She has to have like a sixth sense on that one.
Yeah, she was like, I'm here already because I heard Ian's name and it has summoned me to the chat room.
I can see that.
See, she says she does.
And pizza.
Yeah, she knew.
Oh wait, that's a Dorito chip, isn't it? That's not pizza.
Yeah, that's a Dorito pen.
Well, I had my Discord like blocking it, and so I saw it for a second because I had to Discord out that we're live. Because in theory, people actually pay attention to that stuff.
In theory.
Yep, I had to hear it.
Hey guys, look, we're streaming again.
Hey
everybody.
And there should be no drop frames.
Let's see. How many dropped frames do I have? 0 dropped frames.
Say 0. Yeah.
So, okay, here's my dilemma. Cox Internet Company. I always have to add that so people know what we're talking about.
Oh, we're talking about Cox.
Yeah. Cox Internet Company really screwed us over for a week, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm
was
saying
that Cuddles
is
this week?
we were screwed by Cox. Yeah. Yes, it was. And I was thinking of upgrading my plan, but now I don't know if I should because I feel like after the week we've had, if I upgrade my plan, it feels like I'm rewarding bad behavior.
Well, John, let me help you with this. My plan has been the highest it can possibly be for a couple years now. So,
wait,
if anything,
the 330 plan?
Yeah.
Oh, how is it?
I think I need to get a better modem because I'm only getting tops 110 down and about 20 up.
They do our internet company here, which is called Mediacom. It still sucks. They tell us that like every 2 years we need to replace our modem because of reasons. So we do.
Well, I believe it because I've gone through many modems and many routers because, it's constantly on, it's constantly doing stuff. So I'm sure it burns out. So, yeah, at some point soon, I'm probably going to be getting a new modem and then downloading like a champ.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's like a champ? Is it good? Is it a game? Is it a movie?
Yeah, all of those.
Oh, that's a game.
It's an interactive game movie. Or an interactive movie that has a game component, but you have to use your smartphone on an app.
Or are you talking about the Selena Gomez song?
Well, that plays throughout the entire experience. The entire thing.
Is the chorus to that song like a champ, like a champ, like a champ?
Walk. No, it's Walk Like a Champ. I'm looking this up. I don't have this memorized.
Like a champ.
Talk like a
champ, my friend.
No, probably not that either.
Oh, Lord.
What's the chorus? What's the real chorus?
Oh, it really is Walk Like a Champ, Talk Like a Champ. And then it's like rom pom pom pom.
Oh, wait.
Like that.
Ben was right?
Yeah, Ben was right.
I was singing Walk Like a Man, Talk Like a...
Oh, I don't know if it's that thing. I don't know this song. I just Googled it to see if there really was a movie called Like a Champ, and that came up.
Who is it that does the song? Is it the Beach Boys?
What, the one I sang? I don't know.
That bit. Who does that song?
I'm looking that up right now. It is the Four Seasons.
Oh, the Four Seasons. Okay.
Yeah. Because it starts out with, ooh, ooh. That's probably really loud.
That's really loud.
Yeah.
And here's where our broadcast gets silenced.
There it is.
We got to keep talking.
Yep, exactly. And here, I'll even turn it down a little bit too, so that we can talk over it a little better.
We gotta Yeah.
How's that?
Good.
That sound good?
Does it defeat the purpose if we talk over it like we have to?
Well, yeah. I mean, until we get to the chorus, so that you can hear a little bit of it. But I know this song a lot because of the movie Heart and Souls. Have you guys seen that with Robert Downey Jr.?
Is that the Robert Downey Jr. movie where is he a ghost in that movie?
No, he's a person, but he has 4 ghosts stuck with him.
Yeah, he is.
And they have to use him to fulfill their purpose or whatever.
I'll use Robert Downey Jr. to fulfill my purpose.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, good song.
Wait.
I don't know what that means, but people can probably use their imagination. Anyway, that was a fun little musical interlude.
Wait, there's a Howie Mandel movie with the name Walk Like a Man?
What?
Okay, now I'm a little concerned.
Walk Like a Man movie?
I guess.
It was in 2000. Think Like a Man. That was 2012.
Oh. Wicked Kitten. I'm sorry, but you got that wrong.
That ghost porn is the best kind. I haven't watched a lot of ghost porn.
Well,
I saw
seen
Ghostbusters. Yeah. The most famous of ghost porn.
So apparently that was supposed to be a much longer scene.
Uh-huh.
And, well, they decided to cut it out, but Dan Aykroyd was like, no, we're keeping that in the movie. So that's why it's randomly in the movie still as a dream, just out of nowhere.
It's a funny bit.
Yeah.
It was a little misplaced.
Just a bit. But no, so I guess the scene is they go to this old house or whatever to, bust ghosts. And then he just, I guess, randomly takes a nap or something. I don't know what happens. It just, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's a dream, though. It's implied that it's a complete dream.
Yeah, but I'm saying originally it wasn't a dream.
Oh,
it was actually a thing that happened.
Yeah, a complete dream, 100% dream. Not one of those 90% dreams that they try to pass off in movies. A complete
happy ending
dream.
and all.
Yeah, busting makes everyone feel good.
I'm just happily saying.
Anyway, ghosts. They do things. I remember when I was a kid what I thought that scene meant. I was like, it's funny because the ghost takes off his pants. He must be so embarrassed.
Yeah. Man, that's why he has that funny look like, oh no,
Yeah.
I have no pants on in this house.
Then he gives the, oh no, I have no pants face. And I love that face because that's what I would make if I lost my pants.
Yeah, definitely. That's how that goes.
Yep.
Pants, yes.
Yeah.
No, I do have to agree with you, John. I was kind of in the same boat, not knowing exactly what was going on.
It was like, mean ghost stealing people's pants in the middle of the night. I will admit, though, when I was a little kid, I wondered why he was sleeping with, like, a belt on. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm still wondering that.
Unless they were going for the whole, oh no, never mind. I was going to try and give him credit as being like firemen ready to go type.
Yeah.
Well, kind of upstairs, like when they're actually at the firehouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no excuse for wearing a belt to bed.
Like,
Maybe
all
he
I know...
pantsed a lot as a kid and it was just a phobia. Is that a phobia?
It could be. But at that point, when you switch to suspenders...
No, there's no excuse.
Oh my god, there really is a search for phobia being pantsed.
Oh, really? What's it called?
Depantsophobia. Everybody knows that.
Trying to find out what it's called.
I gotta find this out now too. Let's see whose Google skills are better.
Panstophobia.
Well, panophobia is the fear of everything, but that was a joke. What's that off of?
Hey, Bruce Nee. AU. Welcome. And welcome to the whole chat. We had a little bit of a down moment, so I decided to talk to the chat.
Yes, welcome. Overalls. That should be the ultimate solution is overalls. Bring those back.
I wore overalls once. It seemed like a cool idea when I bought them, and then I put them on, and I was like, oh, I look like a giant baby.
Did you do shorts or pants?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Pants.
Okay. So overalls are like the Oshkosh Bagosh ones, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I always mix up overalls and coveralls. But I mean, it's in the name right there. Coverall is it covers everything you wear and you like zip it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coveralls are what I wear in the winter when I do drives, and then I walk like the guy on A Christmas Story, the baby brother.
When she tries to put the arms down, they fly back
Yeah,
up.
they just don't. Like my arms are like 45-degree angle is the furthest we go down.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if guys can pull off overalls anymore in this day and age. I think it's
They're pulling off rompers. Pull off
Well,
overalls.
Let me ask you this, John. Is said guy who's wearing overalls, are they in, I don't know, like the deep south without shoes and a shirt and maybe walking around in a swamp?
okay. You're right. That would work. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with that.
There you go.
All
Maybe they have one of those, what are those boats called with the giant fans on the back?
Ah, giant fan
A
boats.
fan boat.
Fan boat, yeah.
Airboat. It's called an airboat.
Woohoo! I'm not as dense as I thought I was.
What's the show that had the bears that were like gummy and they were like bouncing around and it had bears, but they were like some sort of gummy type being?
Was it Gummy Bears?
Yeah, gummy bears.
That's an inside joke.
I mean, yeah, but it's the same joke as
It was
what
neither
just
of us,
happened.
actually.
I know it wasn't.
The person who said that just could not be here.
What's the movie with the fighting in the stars? Like they're having a war, but it's in space, and it's like a bunch. You see the stars, and
Wing Commander.
yeah, that's the one. Got it.
Gotcha.
Nailed it. Whew, that was a
Gummy
tough
bears
one.
in their tiny underwears.
Is that? That's not the lyrics.
No, but it makes me think of bananas in pajamas.
Oh Lord. Bananas
Yeah.
and pajamas.
That's bad.
I remember I had a fever when I saw an ad for bananas in pajamas, and it freaked me out. There's been a couple times where I've had a fever when I saw something, and I just wondered, like, what has happened to the world. And it made me wonder if, like, in my fever state, if I, like, reached mentally into some dark portal and summoned forth nonsense.
Didn't you?
5 seasons. Sorry, Bananas in Pajamas went on for 5 seasons. I'm just blown
How
away
many
by that.
episodes are in a season?
I don't know.
Scary.
How much can you do with bananas in pajamas? Like, what is the day-to-day on that? Is it like, hello, I'm in pajamas?
I know they walk downstairs.
Mm-hmm. They chase teddy bears.
That's about all I got. I mean, do they just never catch the teddy bears?
They move in pairs.
That's why it takes 5 seasons.
Were they married, or were they like brother and sister?
Were they male and female?
Did it ever specify sex?
Do bananas have sex?
I really want that to be the episode title.
Oh Lord.
Well,
I'm marking that down though. I gotta save that.
just as its own clip.
Yeah, just do bananas have sex?
All right, well, good. I'm glad that we were able. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. That's our show this week.
Oh my God. There's an animated Bananas in Pajamas that's still going on. It just started in 2011.
That.
We can't.
Well, it says 2011 2 question marks. I'm assuming it's still going
Oh
on.
my gosh.
Geotris says B1 and B2, and they were brothers. Like,
That is
Well,
their name, B1 and B2.
That's when you play bingo or Battleship.
that's shitty.
Oh, that's-
Like, what mean parents?
Hey, what's your name? B1. Okay, B1 what?
It's just lucky they stopped there because, like, when you get the name B4, like, then it just becomes a constant joke because it's like,
Oh yeah.
what's your name? B4. I don't know why I made the old person young and the young person old. B4. B4 what? Shut up. You're not the first person to say that to me.
See, I would thought you were going bingo. Like
Oh.
B4. Bingo.
Yeah,
That's
that and
too.
there's that too. Like, it just confuses everything. Like, they're at the bingo hall and it's just like, B2, what? I said B2, what?
And some guy yells from the back, "You suck my battleship."
Yeah, it's all bad.
Oh my God, Battleship.
BB-8. That's a shitload of bananas at that point.
They have to go through the alphabet multiple times. I'm C5. I don't know. That's coconuts. Everybody knows.
Yeah, coconuts in pajamas.
It's coconut.
Okay. Tell me to take another white
pajamas.
rum shot. Go for it. Do it.
Just do it.
There you go.
Do it.
Who said I didn't do anything for you, chat? I've done it.
Well, I don't know. Is that the final one that puts him over the edge?
Yeah. If you've been listening to us so far,
I figured it out. The show's entertaining now because they're taking another shot.
it's really doing a favor.
I don't
to
know.
us. We haven't even started the show yet.
I was talking. I logged in. They were talking about bananas and names, and so there's bingo in there.
I thought the dude drank White Russians. That's not the same as white rum, is it? No.
No.
Because White Russians involve milk of some sort, I think.
It does, yeah. It's Kahlua milk.
Kahlua, Jamaica. Ooh, I
Ooh,
wanna take.
It's a very musical episode so far.
It is. I don't know. You know what? I'm happy because I'm not working right now, and that's about it.
The longer we
in a
make
good
this
mood because of that.
pre-show go, the less Ben has to work. That's just a fact.
That is kind of true. Although the longer I have to work on editing because I try to pull snippets out of here. So.
All right. Well, we should probably start.
Let's start the show
Yay.
proper. Turarts, would you like to do the intro, or would you like one of us
Ben
to?
sounding
It is your turn.
squirrely to anybody else just now?
I'm sorry. What?
You were
He's a little
sounding.
I was
robot-y.
like-
Yeah, you were sounding robot-y.
Oh, that's no good. Huh.
Sound good now.
Well, thank you.
Oh, nope, I lied.
Yeah.
According to crap. Well, that's not good.
I don't trust you anymore, Ben.
I don't trust me either.
Yep, it's bad.
Your video quality is low. Oh no.
Ben's
Okay, you know
That
what? We're gonna
stinks.
Ben's dying.
check my speed. If all of a sudden like it goes bad again, I am going to be yelling and yelling and yelling at Cox.
I bet you are.
Now my current down is pretty bad apparently. That's by using the speed of me, which doesn't seem to always work right.
Well, this is concerning because you're on the same internet as me, so I'm going to test mine, and we'll see if mine's bad, too.
And my down is lower than it should be. That's not good.
What's your down at? This is the best show
It's
content
something around
ever.
50 right now.
50?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm 154.
Wow. How are you there when you don't have the...
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, remember earlier how we're like, hey, you know what? I should probably get a new modem soon. Right now is the time I should get it.
Turns out this was the time. All right. Yeah. Well, Ben, it's you.
Great.
Run over to John's real quick. Just buddy the podcast.
I'll just go. You don't need him.
Nobody needs me.
Nobody needs me.
Ben, we need you. You're an important part of this whole thing.
Well, the weird thing is that I can hear you guys just fine.
That's good.
But apparently, if I'm getting... Am I still being robot?
Actually, no. Now it's getting good.
Well, I hope so. Maybe all I need to do is log into the Cox site.
There you go. Just have to threaten it a little. That's what I do all the time. I log into MediaCom to get ready to complain, and then it starts working.
All right.
How dare you?
Well, I think
Check
we're good enough to start. Ben's gonna be a
Okay.
robot, and yeah, we'll do the show. That's what we'll do.
Hold on, just give me a second. And now it says that my down is at about 85, 86. So okay,
So it's going
that's not
up.
bad. Okay. Oh, well, jumping up almost to 90. That's good. Okay.
Maybe one day
See what
you'll
my
have
up's
a
at.
real internet connection.
Yeah, maybe. Oh no, they're saying that I'm getting close to 20 something. So whatever it was, maybe it was just a really quick small thing.
That's what she said. Okay, Ben, let's get this started.
Okay, so Turarts, would you like to do the intro, or would you like one of us to?
Yeah, just the regular, like, this is Turarts from blah 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 that I did last time, or have you switched
Exactly.
it up? Okay. Okay. Whew.
Well, technically, it's whatever you want to do.
I'm just gonna do what I did last time. It seemed to work.
All right, take it away.
All right. This is Turarts from the Game Case Show, and you are listening to Azeroth Roundtable.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Well done. And here we go.
Yes. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 228. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben! It's Friday night here in Azeroth, and I am stoked to be here joining you at the round table. But it's not just us. We're joined this week by Turarts. Welcome.
Hey! Glad to be back. It's exciting.
We're very happy to have you on.
It's been a good pre-show so far, so I can't wait to get to the real show.
Oh, this is where it gets boring. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
The
It was
pre-show's where you
way
want
more fun when we were talking about... I don't even remember what we were
Bananas.
talking about.
Ghosts and busting them, if you will.
We were talking about ghosts and busting, but it wasn't busting ghosts.
Yeah, something different. Anyways, so wow, it's Friday night. I'm with you two. This is going to be great. I'm excited. Do you want to just jump right in?
Sure.
Yeah.
What are
Anyone?
what are we jumping right into?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so I think I've probably mentioned on the show way too many times, but I've been really busy with work. I haven't been able to kind of keep up with a lot of stuff that's been going on. However, one thing that I did see was some BlizzCon art that came out this week. And by this week, I mean like today, right? It was earlier today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, before we get into it, did they only release the World of Warcraft one?
No, I believe they showed Hearthstone as well. I think it was Hearthstone.
Okay. Huh. Okay, well, regardless, we're not talking about Hearthstone right now.
Ben,
So
you
the
will never
World of
let us talk
Warcraft-
to Hearthstone ever.
It'll happen at some point. But anyways, so if you haven't seen the artwork, take a quick second, do a quick search, see what you can find, because I kind of want to talk about it.
Yes.
There's kind of a lot going on with this picture of it's of Jaina Proudmoore, and she's being all magey and stuff from what it looks like. Yeah, from what it looks like. Now, John.
John?
Yes, I didn't know that was a question. I thought there was going to be a
okay.
lead in. I thought there was going to be a, hey John,
no worries.
let me tell you.
Well, no, it was more of a hey, are you there kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you know what?
Mhm.
You're busy though. It's fine. I just noticed what you were doing. So Turarts.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that's how it works. All right. So okay, there's this kind of like idea and rumor and thoughts going around about Jaina.
There are tons of rumors and things we hope are true. So if you played Warcraft 3, I think it was, she's part of the Kultiras.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, with this picture, John mentioned it earlier in the show, it does have kind of an elfy vibe, especially with the ears, or not the ears, the eyes,
Yeah.
not the ears. We can't see those fully. Definitely magey, but I'm curious if we really are going back to the Kultiras roots. There were races with them, humans, dwarves, high elves, humans, of course. Oh, I said humans already. Obviously humans. Duh. Are we kind of going back to her roots? Are we going to find out more about where Kultiras is, where she's from? Are we getting back to that, or are we going Dreadlord? Like, what are we doing?
I mean, that's the big theory, right? I mean, the rumor is Coltyrus. Like, that's been circling around for a while. I've been kind of wondering, you know, we know that they brought Christy Golden in to work temporarily at Blizzard. It's not a permanent position, but she's working with them. And when we heard that, the first thought that I kind of had was, hey, Blizzard doesn't have the best track record of writing female characters. There's a lot of criticism that I think has been thrown their way, and I think justifiably so. They tend to be a little one note. They tend to think like, hey, what if this character was really good and then turned evil and then maybe turned good again? I don't know. We've done that 100 times. Let's keep doing it. And so it ends up being this case of, you know, nuance. And nuance to Jaina has come in when, you know, I think best examples are when Christy Golden writes her. And so her being on immediately made me think, is she writing Jaina? Like, that was the first thought. Like, I think there is a story that they are wanting to tell, that they are wanting to bring someone who's a little more entrenched and going to do a little better justice than maybe they have in the past with a character. And Jaina was the first one that came to mind. Coltyrus makes perfect sense for a Jaina-focused story, with that being, you know, kind of where she's from and her background. And so I'm really hopeful that we are going to get away from the Jaina is a Dreadlord thing. I don't want to see that story. As much as I would like to see them wave a magic wand and angry, always yelling at me Jaina turns back into happy Jaina that I like, I don't think that... I think waving the magic wand to just change her character is what Blizzard would typically do. So I hope it's not what they do this time.
Yeah. So do either of you actually know where the Jaina is a Dreadlord came from?
Not off the top of my head.
No. I mean, maybe it was just a case of people putting pieces together because Dreadlords tend to inhabit and mimic people. And so with a big Legion focus and her kind of constantly wavering between angry and evil, maybe it just grew out of that. I know Blizzard didn't do any favors when they put in the back of their lore book for Dreadlord see Jaina Proudmoore, or was it the other way around? For Jaina Proudmoore see Dreadlord.
I think it was, yeah, it doesn't matter which way. Joke's still there.
Yeah, they leaned into it, which is fine, but I don't know what the official origin was.
Okay. See, I always thought that it was just someone just being like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Jaina was a Dreadlord? And like, it just grew from that. So, yeah, who knows? Someone does. But that doesn't matter. But, so Turarts, have you been following Jaina's story, like, through any of the books or anything like that?
A little bit I have. So I'm not an expert on her by any means, but like, obviously we've seen a lot of her, and wow, even if you haven't followed the books, she's quite passionate, and I feel like she has been betrayed, whether she really has or not, but she feels she's been betrayed. And so where is she going to turn that passion towards? And is it something that we're going to see in a positive way? Like the rumors that she's off right now, was it fighting Naga back to get their land, and she's going to come in and join forces with this great kingdom that we haven't been to yet? Or is she building an army, and now we're going to feel the wrath of Jaina, and it really is going to be that boss that was rumored in that opening scene when she left, and we're all like, look, there we go, there's end boss right there. I don't know. She's always been, I think, on the Alliance side. I know you guys play Horde, but like, you either love Jaina or you hate her. Like, there are people who are just like, oh, Jaina, just get out of the way. Like, stop. I could see them turning her into the bad guy still. I want her to be good. I want her to be over in Coltyrus building an army and fighting the Naga and trying to bring some much needed alliance between the Alliance and the allegiance between the Alliance and the Horde as we go into the unknown of the old gods, as we travel to their world. But she's had a lot of stuff happen. Maybe it's her time to be in that unwanted spotlight like Garrosh was.
could be. I mean, the big thing is that, of course, she's not a full, alliance leader. So, she's not head of the humans or anything like that. So, she can kind of be out and doing her own thing and everything like that, which is something that I'm actually, pretty happy about, that she's not just tied somewhere. Because, I mean, you saw what happened with Thrall. He was tied to the Horde. I mean, he was the war chief. In order to really tell actual story with him, they needed to rip him out of that. So I'm glad that she's able to be in those different story situations. I just really wish there were more of them at this point, because you've had her as, I mean, she's had a really crappy life. Yeah.
Kael'thas's lover. Arthas's lover.
Kael'thas's.
Caligos's lover.
He's still around, though, at least.
True.
Although he is working with the Horde and everything. But then again, in War Crimes, she kind of got over that stuff, but now she hates the Horde again. And John, like you were saying, it's kind of inconsistent with, where she's going and what mood she might be in, depending on like when you encounter her in like a 2-year timeline or something.
Well, and I think it's who's writing her. Like, yeah. And again, this goes back to, you look at something like Tides of War. She makes her peace with Thrall and the Horde. She gets very angry. She tries to kill Thrall, like, full-on kill him. There was no, like, I'm going to hold back because we were once friends. Like, no, she's mad enough to do it. She's about to drown Orgrimmar. Like, she's ready to go. And she makes enough peace with it where you think like, okay, here's where we're at, and then all of a sudden you get back in the game and she's like, destroy everybody, kill them, and it's like, oh, okay, there are multiple people writing this character.
This just hit me, and I'm curious. If you look at the picture, I don't know if you guys still have it up, but we're definitely getting some mage vibes. I mean, you have the runes coming off of her right hand, the left area has some runes. Khadgar has been the center of the expansions for the Alliance for a little bit. Now, I think the Horde, too. I haven't played much in the Horde, but he's been kind of pushing us along, doing some things. Could it be time for Khadgar to go down? Could this be who challenges him? Because you just said she's willing to take on Thrall. She's willing to do what needs done if no one steps in. And she was not happy that he was willing to accept the Horde back in her life. Do you think we could see an end to Khadgar?
Maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to it either. I mean, Khadgar...
He's a dick.
He's... Okay. Like, let me put it this way. I like Khadgar more than I like Thrall. I like Thrall in his war chief role when he's the front and center face of everything that's going on. I don't much care for him. And in that same role, I don't mind Khadgar as much. I think he's a little silly, but I think they've done some weird things with his character, with him. Like, it was like they all of a sudden were like, well, what's his character? I don't know. He likes dangerous stuff, and he thinks it's funny.
And he's jokey.
Yeah, and he's kind of jokey. And that's his character. But he's still like he's the solution to every problem. We have a problem. What do we need?
We need a new solution.
Khadgar.
Well, no. John, first we have to collect 2,723 of something, and then he's the solution.
Yeah, that's true. I just think that they have a hard time when they put one character as our primary focus. And I think they should probably step away from that, which means Khadgar should probably be stepped away from that. Because
she could do it.
Right now he is the linchpin to like every story. He's just in there. Showing up, and like it's fine for a zone, if you go to a zone and you kind of focus on a character while you're going through that zone, like that kind of works. But when it's something important needs to be done, I bet Khadgar is going to have something to say about this. Like, it's always him. So
that's patch day. You log in, your first quest is go talk to Khadgar wherever you left him, and he'll send you on your merry way.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was at the very end of Pandaria when we were transitioning into Draenor. That it's talk to Khadgar. He's just right outside of your temple or faction city or wherever they had him. And then he drug us all the way through Warlords. He's dragging us through Legion. And even though Illidan is kind of a big heavy part of the expansion, we get like 0 Illidan.
Yeah, there's not much.
I mean, granted you play as him, but yeah. So okay, picture this. Just total off the blue or off the top of my
Off the
head,
blue.
this would be kind of cool. Okay, off the blue.
Right
That's
off the
what we
blue.
call it. Right off the blue. Okay, so Jaina's upset because she basically gave up control of the Kirin Tor because the Horde was being let in because basically Khadgar was like, "Hey, we're doing this," and everyone else was like, "Yeah, we probably should." So she left. So she's building her army, but not like, I don't know, traditional army. You know, we don't have like the glaive throwers or buff armor wearing people and stuff like that. It's just basically a new faction of mages, not the Kirin Tor, but
Ooh.
there's this whole new expansion coming where it's an assault on magic, and it's led by Jaina, who is not like trying to stop everyone from using it or trying to like destroy the ley lines like Malagos did or anything like that, but she's basically going and claiming Dalaran as her own to be like the magical center of Azeroth.
That could be interesting because I mean, and again, I have played some Horde, but especially from Alliance side, the magic has always been feared. I mean, that's why the Night Elves weren't mages for a while because they knew it would corrupt them. So Jaina just finally coming in and being like, you know what? Screw it. This is what we can do. Let's just do it. And taking things by force. That would be interesting.
Yeah, like it'd be kind of cool if you went to Kul Tiras and it was like this idyllic kind of like beautiful place.
Mage awesomeness.
We've seen so many like rundown iron steel war machine type zones. This idea that she went to this place and said, I'm a better leader than all these people. I'm going to create this in my image. Here's Theramore 2. I've built it, and it's going to be my perfect little kingdom. And then it turns into hostility for some reason.
So yeah, that was my next question. Does this become new big baddie we have to fight against, or does this become third faction?
I think it'd be interesting if it was a third faction. Like, not that, everybody gets rep up with it or anything like that, but it's a third faction thrown into the mix to just kind of have its own agenda for a change.
So the big problem with third faction is always like, I always feel like I'm the dour one because people always get excited about third faction, and I'm always the guy who brings this up and says, there's never going to be a third faction. They're never going to force us to divide our guilds and say like, hey, you all decided to go join third faction, so now you can no longer play with your friends because now you're over here on third faction.
Well, that's not what I mean by my third faction.
Okay, well, you need to be better at defining it then.
Okay. I'm thinking more like the Cenarian Circle or whatever the Druid thing is.
Like a rep.
And kind of like a rep, but it's actually a faction in game. It's not a player faction at all. But
okay,
like where there's the Horde versus Alliance, now there's this magical faction that's in there kind of muddling things up, and they have their entire own agenda going in there. Like, think it's Wrathion trying to do stuff, but an entire faction of it, and I don't know, and they don't even necessarily have to be the antagonists. It's just there's another presence in game that we have to kind of work around or deal with at this point.
What I liked, and what is very similar to not what you're saying at all, is is in the two most recent expansions for Star Wars: The Old Republic. You stopped being a character working for the Republic and the Empire. You basically left both. And you joined a quote-unquote third faction. Now, behind the scenes, you were still Empire. You were one of the Imperial classes, or you were one of the Republic classes. But you were working for this third faction that you were actually the leader of. And I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of a cool way to tell a central story and a big story that applied to everybody, but also at the same time retained the flavor of your own personal character. I don't know if that would work in this situation, but like to me, that's the only way third faction works, is when you can still be Horde, but you're representing a third faction. Because, like, what you're saying, Ben, I kind of get what you're saying, but to me, like, that just sounds like another rep. Like, you could make the argument that the Legion was a third faction. You could make an argument that the Cenarian Circle is a third faction. Like, they're all factions. It's just we tend to use that word just as meaning, like, either alliance or horde.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm just looking for more of a story-driven purpose for something to be there. You know, like, I don't know. I guess it does kind of lose the translation in there. But personally, I like the idea of there being more than what we have.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I see what you mean. I agree. I think there are some interesting, cool things that they could do with faction in general. That I don't know, they can play with it. I think I like the idea of if Kul Tiras is this like big settlement that Jaina has created. I like the idea of it not immediately being a hostile one. You know, like we have Suramar now as this big city, this big wondrous city that everybody hates us in. Like, it would be nice to have
pretty much
something similar, something like that isn't necessarily instantly a enemy.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, too, did you ever finish the whole Suramar storyline?
No. Because I lost interest.
Okay. Well, first of all, you get a mount at the end of that. It's kind of cool, even though I know that you're stuck with the mount that you have and you'll never, ever, ever switch again.
Oh, what mount do you
unless
get?
Something really cool. You get one of the mana sabers, but you get like this really ornate saddle with it and stuff like that. And it can, I think it can fly. I'm not entirely sure.
Not interested.
Yeah. It's cool looking though. But yeah, the ones that they ride around in the city, that's what you get.
Okay.
For those. But by the end of it, if I remember correctly, you have essentially taken back the city. Of course, when you go in there, you're still hated and everybody attacks you and stuff like that. But the end of the story is actually pretty good. I do recommend it. I think you'd like it.
Well, and that's the problem is, like, when I first got there, that's the direction that I thought they were going to take with the zone, is I thought it was going to be oh, cool, everybody hates me in the city, but by the time I get done with this story, I'll, you know, have slowly worked my way until this is like a full-on city that I can just live in and be a part of and hang out in, and that'll be awesome. And it never happened, and it just became this like place where there's just a bunch of enemies all the time, and I hated going there. Like, it was the most beautiful place that I hated being. So that's...
I mean, if it was something like the Isle of Kildanis or something where everybody like knows who you are at that point, because I mean you helped you know, raise them up from being withered or something, it'd be pretty good. But yeah, no, you're right.
I just, I want to see, I wanted to see more moments where the game evolves like that. And to kind of go back a little bit to something that we talked about a bit ago about Illidan. Today on Twitter, I was asked, and I thought it was a very good question, of how do you feel Illidan has been presented in this expansion? Like, he was kind of the focal point, you know, when we were being previewed Legion, and now we're most of the way through Legion. How do we feel Illidan has been represented? And my response, and I stand by it, is this. Like, I was super into the Illidan story from the beginning of the Demon Hunter stuff where his body gets stolen to finding out where he came from and why he made the choices he made. I think we've talked about on the show, the Black Temple thing is one of my favorite moments in Legion. It was so funny and so good. And then we just hit that quest where it was gather a bajillion shards or memory fragments or whatever it was, and I stopped caring. Like, Blizzard found a mechanic to make me stop caring about something that I was really invested in, and then he just popped up. You know, like, all of a sudden, like, I saw a cinematic online, not in the raid as I was experiencing it. I saw a cinematic online and was like, oh, I guess Illidan's back, and then there he is, just standing around places. And it took what could have been a really cool moment for the expansion and honestly made it a big letdown. Like, yeah, we all knew he was coming back, but by gating the story in the places they did, they kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah. I mean, if they had actually gone with, like, say, ramping it along with your order hall story or something like that, that could have worked. Because I mean, you got the piece of the what do you call it, the celestial or whatnot, and you have that first start there, and then it kind of gives you more quests from that point on. Then all of a sudden, find a whole bunch of soul fragments. No.
Yeah.
No.
Just, that's the biggest problem, and I understand Blizzard needs to find ways to try to incentivize people to engage with content, but I feel like raiders are going to raid. Like, I don't know, and you know what? By all means, tweet me, write me if this is you. I don't know anybody who raids in normal to mythic, whatever, to see the story. I don't know anybody that's like, oh, I gotta be a raid team member because I need to see the story. And that's why I raid.
I don't think, I mean, there's got to be at least someone, but I mean, for the most part, they're doing it for, world first. Because, and the fact that, those first hardcore people trying to get world first and everything, they're just pushing through the content as fast as they can. For someone who's like, going through and doing heroic raiding and mythic raiding, you have to start somewhere. So are they pushing to get to mythic?
Well, I mean, not even that, but like, people have tons of reasons for raiding. I want to spend time with my friends. I want to get the best gear. I want to do this. Like, there's a ton of reasons to do it, but I don't know anybody who's like, no, because that's the only way I get to see the story. So putting story blocks behind it, I understand that there are some. Like, you don't want the final raid boss to be insignificant to the story. But at the same time, like, that's not why those people are engaging with the content. Meanwhile, you have people that are engaging with content for story purposes that don't want to do those aspects of the game. And as a result, the thing they care about gets kind of ruined. So this expansion, I feel like the Illidan story was a letdown because his story was used to encourage Mythic Plus dungeon running, which I didn't want to do, and then raiding, which again, there are parts of it I understand. You want final bosses to mean something, you want Gul'dan to mean something. I get why that part's there, and they put those cutscenes online too, so you can see them, and I think that's good. But yeah, it just kind of ruins the moment when they do that, and it kind of bums me out a little bit.
Yeah. Welcome back, Turarts.
Thank you. Yeah. So funny story. We have a power surger because I have computers that cost monies, and when the cat gets mad, he'll step on it, and so I have it hidden. But obviously not well enough because I heard the click, and I was like, ah, dang, little love ball thing. Those were not the words I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, rating, people rate differently. I heard that. I was listening because internet came up before Skype came up.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so okay, question for you, since I mean, you're Alliance side, so I doubt that you had a different experience for this, but how do you feel about how the Illidan story has been handled for this expansion? I mean, we kind of talked about how John and I both pretty much stopped up as soon as it said, hey, get these soul fragments.
Yeah, I hate the whole collecting thing. Like, we do it so often that once it gets to that point, I'm just like, I'm going to wait till this gets nerfed. Because it's going to. I was glad to see Illidan back, because as soon as they announced this expansion, I was like, Illidan. Like, it has to be Illidan.
Yeah.
But they brought him back in such a way where it's, and I know is it supposed to be a side story? Is it supposed to be a main story? I still don't know. It was so grindy that, yeah, I was just like, I'll wait and just read what everyone said happened. Because someone's going to grind it out for me, so I don't have to.
Yeah. And that's kind of what a lot of people, at least now, I don't want to speak for everybody in my raid team, but for the most part, I don't know of anybody on my team who's actually gone through and finished that quest line. I mean, I could be wrong and I just forgot, but I mean, every single time we talk about it, everyone's kind of like, yeah, no. That's about it. That's the discussion we have about that quest. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of looking at past characters and giving them something new, especially someone who we thought we had kind of killed.
Yeah.
And that it makes it interesting.
Speaking of kind of killed, so I've been doing lots of, I want to say research, but reading about stuff. Because with Jaina being a dreadlord, could we be looking at old gods coming in? And the only old god we haven't fought or seen, and we don't know a lot about, is N'Zoth.
N'Zoth, yeah.
N'Zoth, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce things. We kind of had a little bit of Yashards with, Garrosh and all this stuff. With his heart, though, like, could we see, like, N'Zoth coming in and being like, okay, you guys all sucked, so we're just going to do this the right way? Like,
that would suck. I mean, it's still beatings, so yeah. But okay, first of all, is it still under Orgrimmar?
Yeah, I would say his heart's still there. So could we bring him back? Like, and what is it? Is it?
I don't know. What did we do with the heart? Didn't he destroy it? Like, didn't he consume it all?
Yeah, it says as he was defeated, the heart, its power dissipated, leaving nothing left of his Yashar's corrupting. But I mean, as we've just learned from Illidan, do things really dissipate? I mean, what's that mass doesn't ever go away; it just shifts. Is that true in WoW too? Like,
I mean, like, what if N'Zoth is now like the super ultra old god? And I mean, he's under the water, so for Kul Tiras, which is this island and this, Navy type expansion, like, what if Jaina has formed her own kingdom and she's not the bad guy? She's having to go up against a friggin' old god, and she's over there being all Proudmoore, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want help from anybody." And then it's an old god, and she's like, "Okay, I need help."
Proudmoore or Proud Less?
Could we be seeing the Black Empire?
Okay, I don't know about the Black Empire. It's story time.
Yeah, you're going to have to update us
on that.
So
that was, I know a little bit. The only thing I know is it was the civilization created by the old gods after their arrival on Azerith. So it was like elemental lords. It's this really like terrible place. Not terrible, but terrible. But like, could there be rumors that I don't know. This is now getting into things that are lots of hypotheticals. Because N'Zoth would have to be coming back.
We're fine with that.
I know. N'Zoth would have to be coming back and be like, listen, you three sucked. You done messed up. Now I got to wake myself up and do some stuff. Jaina gets wind of it after she goes off and is like, screw you guys for bringing the Horde back. And because the Black Empire was their like overlord. And if he brought it back, like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. So, okay. Right now, Jaina left. We're going to talk about she's bringing her mage faction around, because I still like the idea of her just amassing this giant magical power. And the thing is she's defending Azeroth from these elemental lords and, like old god type stuff and everything, like you were saying. Meanwhile, we have no idea that's going on because we're fighting the Legion. We think that they're this big, huge, gigantic, they're the worst threat ever. Meanwhile, literally beneath the surface, there's something else that's fighting back and trying to take over. And she's the one who's standing there just stopping it all. Now, I would be really happy if they put her in the very heroic, I'm a badass, I am handling this crap kind of way. I mean, I just picture her in front of like an underground cave, like just the entrance, just like shooting arcane energy into it, just holding things back forever or something.
To bring it back to a couple of your guys' points that you've brought up, we could have at the beginning of next expansion this unknown force that even Khadgar can't pinpoint, just not messing things up, but interjecting here or there. Like we go to discover something, someone's already been here. We go to try to save this, oh look, it's already done for us. And we're trying to pinpoint who it is. Lo and behold, we go down into some cave and there's Jaina. Now we're working for a third faction while still being like Alliance and Horde. I could dig it. I could do it.
John,
I'm
would
doing
that
research.
fit into something?
I'm doing research at the moment. So, if you guys remember, in Emerald Nightmare, there was the battle with Il'gynoth, who made some ominous predictions.
Yes, the 5. Oh, what is it? Yeah.
So I'm looking up the one that everybody assumed was Jaina related, which was her.
Was it about her heart? Yeah.
Yeah, her heart is a crater, and we have filled it. Which is, most people think is Jaina, because the crater being Theramore. And then if it's the words of the old gods coming through saying that the old gods have filled it, it kind of suggests that they have poisoned her heart.
Which could tie it in. Yeah. Oh,
it kind of makes sense to me that there is going to be this old god focused expansion on Kul Tiras, Jaina battling against them. I think they put her in a heroic role. Like maybe she's bad at first. Maybe there is some like, you know, there's a rough bit. Yeah, maybe it's like what's the dude in Lord of the Rings, and Gandalf comes in and points his staff at him, and then his beard turns green, and it's weird.
Yeah, Theoden.
Yeah, Theoden. Isn't it weird that his beard got green? Did that bug anybody else?
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, he was essentially being controlled by, Saruman.
No, this was afterwards. This was like Return of the King. Like, he's got this light blonde hair, and he's got a big old green beard. It looked like he was constantly celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Well, maybe he was.
Anyway.
Where do you think the hobbits get their weed to smoke? It's Theoden's beard.
Just cut off. Grows back.
Really fast. Sorry, I totally sidetracked you with that.
No, we've been hinting at the old gods for expansions now. Like, they've had their influence. They've been toying with us. I think it's time we just bring them front and center and take it on. We only got one left.
Well, technically, we only killed parts before.
Well, true. And that's where I was sitting here, and I'm like...
Yeah. Like, what if they formed some giant super together? Yeah.
Voltron.
God. They Voltron it up. Yeah.
Done.
All right.
Wizard, get on this.
We did it. The new expansion is Old God Voltron.
I'll be expecting my royalties in the mail.
OGVT. Wow, OGVT.
Are they Volt gods? Nope.
Stop trying. It's not. Nope.
Voltron?
Nope. You're not gonna get there.
No.
You're not.
No, I don't think I am. Yeah, definitely not.
I don't know. I think it's time. I think this, there have been rumors for a while that that this expansion was going to be very much focused on, that we kind of speculated that this expansion was going to end with, hey, what have the old gods been up to while we were dealing with the Legion? In fact,
and it's hinting.
There were even rumors that the old gods are behind the eventual depowering of our artifact weapons and why we are going to have to say goodbye to them.
That would really suck. If just like, hey, I've got this really cool staff. No, you don't. Oh, man.
I mean, there's got to be a reason, right? Like, that's what I still stand by. I would like to see basically a transmog unlocked at the end of this expansion for everybody. Blizzard, don't make us do something stupid for it. Where when you get to see the story part where it depowers our weapons, you get a you get a transmog that is basically the burned out version of your artifact weapon. So you get Ashbringer with like holes melted in it, and
the little floaty circle thing is just gone.
Yeah, or
it no longer has a floaty circle thing.
Yeah, where did it go? It's floating somewhere. I don't know.
No, it just fell because depowered. It doesn't have any magic power with it anymore, so it fell out.
It didn't fall out so much as it's just now real droopy.
Oh, Lord.
You swing it and it's like really far behind. It's like, oh crap, I gotta catch up. And it's a smiley face now too. Just, I don't know why. Oh, I wanted a smiley face Ashbringer now. Dang it. That'll never happen. Blizzard. Huh?
But anyway, that's what I want. I want us to be able to run around with like destroyed versions of our cool artifact weapons. I want us to go up to Thrall with the Doom Hammer and be like, yeah, you want it back?
Here,
And he's just
I've
like,
got pieces now.
What have you done?
Oh,
You know, Thrall, all I need to do is just, you know, give it a new handle and a new hammerhead, and it's just like new. Yeah. It's not a new hammer. Yeah, you're fixing it with new parts. That's how that works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so with us going to Argus, and keep in mind, I haven't dug into 7.3 at all. So I'm assuming that we don't go and fight Sargeras because technically he's supposed to be the baddest guy there is, from what I've heard.
Well, I don't know, because there's speculation. I don't know if this is confirmed or not. This is just one thing I read. There isn't really much about tier armor because there's another patch. 7.3 isn't the end. So I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That was a long way of me saying I don't know. John, take over for me. Fix it.
Okay, so 7.3 patch Argus. 7.4 patch Sargeras' porch. 7.5.
Y'all get out of here.
He's just an old guy on a porch. Just get off my lawn, and then shoots spell at you.
Khadgar just looks over. I did not expect him to sound that way.
Why y'all over here in my property? I don't know. I actually kind of like this idea of like he just doesn't care anymore. He's like, I've been fighting to try to, you know, make perfection in the universe. Okay, now I'm trying to kill everybody. I'm just tired. Just let me take a nap. I'm Napgaris now. That's my name. That's what I do.
You, Johnny or Ben, you mentioned earlier that it's been rumored that the old gods kind of are playing they're puppeteering some of the stuff that's going on. What if we go to defeat Sargeras and find out it's N'Zoth is actually behind all this? Like you defeat him and then it's like, ha ha ha, here I am.
I think
That'd
we
be kinda
will.
cool.
I think that's exactly.
You think it will? Okay.
Yeah, like I think we come back to Azeroth, and it's this like, oh shit, like.
We were looking over here when the real stuff was right in front of us.
It turns out that Hearthstone expansion actually came like 3 years too early, and the whole old gods thing, that's actually Azeroth when we get back.
I mean, they've been teasing it pretty strongly. Like there has been there was the quest for that like jellyfish mount, the old god looking jellyfish mount, where you talk to the dude, I can't remember his name, and he's like, yeah, what's everybody doing? And you're like, we're fighting the Legion. He's like, nah, they're not your enemy. And it's just like like random comments like that where it's just like, wait, what are you talking about? They're not the enemy. Of course they're the enemy. It's just like, no, they're not. You would think that, but they're not. And it's like, oh, well, where's this gonna go?
Blizzard, I don't think people give enough credit for those one-off characters is what I call them. I think they hint on to more than what we like. We really are as the players focusing on the Legion, and we're just like, what are you talking about, old man? You're just sitting here giving me a jellyfish. Like, move on with your life.
Yeah, meanwhile, you talk to him enough, and then you finally ask, no, seriously, what is the enemy? It's like the real enemy is hunger, and then he becomes a vendor and tries to sell you food.
Well, Alessander said it in the chat, and I think like this is actually occasionally my frustration with the game is that we adventurers aren't very bright. And that's true.
We suck.
Blizzard has no problem making our characters incredibly stupid in WoW.
Those freaking goblins!
Yes, sometimes it's incredibly frustrating where it's like, oh, you guys murdered some innocent Tauren, right? And you're like having me do deeds for you to take advantage of me, right? And it's like, yeah, but there's no option to say, yeah, I'm not falling for it. Screw you guys. There's just all right, well, I'll go do it.
I guess I'm going to go kill some Tauren.
Yeah. Like, all right, I guess I'll fail for it. I'm a big dummy. Like, I don't like that they don't. I mean, I guess an argument could be made, well, just don't do the quest. But at the same time,
you
like.
have to.
Yes,
but
all quests must
see the
be
story.
done. Yeah. What there needs to be is an alternative quest where you. Even if it's doing the exact same things, even if it's like, oh, but they're too strong, they're really tough goblins, they've got +9 against adventurers, you're gonna need help. And,
dude, +9, holy crap.
yeah, and then the person's like, well, I'll help you fight them, but you're gonna need to go do the exact same things you would be doing for the goblins, but for me, like, okay, fine, I don't even care if it's the same quest, just don't make my character stupid.
Our characters are dumb.
They really are.
How many piles of poop do I have to sift through?
A lot.
Oh my gosh.
There's always poop.
Always.
You know, okay, engineers should have some sort of like,
Pooper scooper.
I don't know, poop filter thing that engineers don't have to ever pick up the poop. Everybody else does, but engineers don't.
Which I'm an
they're
engineer.
smart.
It'd be funny if the only effect was you didn't get the stinky debuff on your character. Like,
except anytime you mouse over the thing, it has a stinky debuff on it, or it's in the yellow text.
Like, you would get a thing and it would say, the gnomish air freshener device is functioning. You smell lovely. Like, you would get that effect. But, like, other than that, you still have to do the quest exactly as before, but you can do it knowing you don't smell like poop.
Every time you right-click on one of those pieces of poop, a little, just like, psh, sprays onto your character.
Spray.
Yeah, exactly. A little tiny pink gas cloud or something.
These are the useful things that professions need, Blizzard.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I know you're listening.
Poopery.
Yes.
Get on it,
Pooper.
Blizzard. It's time.
Yeah.
I
like
still
this.
want to know what's going on with Raytheon, because we just left him.
I know.
And Pandaria. And I'm still sitting here like, he was kind of mad. Like, where's he at?
Well, I mean, at least you had the luck of being the chosen faction.
True.
With us, he's just kind of like, oh, you weren't supposed to win. Peace. And just like kicks us out.
I'm still mad about that, Blizzard.
Yeah. Look, if there's one thing, we've talked about a lot of things that we want or hope to see or expect to see. Here's all I want, Blizzard, from the next expansion. This is the only thing.
Wow.
It's going to be good.
Just complete the story you're telling.
Yeah.
I love that you acknowledged every story you've ever started to set up this expansion, but there are so many hanging threads to the stories and so many like, oh, I'm really interested in this and I guess we'll never hear about it again. Just end a story, please.
Well,
that's going to be the last expansion. Like, you just doomed us all.
Oh no. Well, okay, we don't need like the Lost thing where everything's in the final expansion and tied up there. Just, start sealing those up along the way. I mean, one of the things that I really did not like about going from Pandaria into Draenor is, okay, well, it's just a full continuation. And just like going in from Draenor into Legion, full continuation. I stop watching shows when that stuff happens. Because I need, like, okay, the end of the expansion, that's the end of that story arc. I'm fine with that. It's cool. I mean, you can leave little dangly bits for, to grab onto and latch onto later on, kind of like how, end of Wrath of the Lich King, oh, there's someone else on the throne, because there always has to be a Lich King.
Back to this sometime, maybe.
Yeah, they're leaving their options open at that point. But just a constant flow of, okay, we're still doing this, it isn't satisfying anymore.
Something Alessandra brought up earlier in the chat. Let's see if I can scroll up. They've changed the writers and stuff. Like Metzen's gone. A lot of top guys have left in the past couple expansions. Maybe moving forward, now that we're kind of like to bring Doctor Who in this next season of Doctor Who, we have new writers, new Doctor, new companion. Like, it's all new. He gets to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Maybe now that we kind of have this new setup, we'll get to see some WoW things where these ties are finally like tied together and we can move on. I don't know what direction they'd go, but something besides, like you said, basically, missed part 2 and missed part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, even then, it's not the best parts of Mist.
No.
Which is the sad thing.
Mist was the best part of Mist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially patch 5.1. Which I will say, until a patch comes out, that I like better than 5.1.
Was pretty good.
New expansions don't count because they're new expansions. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I'm constantly asking for more story. I mean, John, I know you are. Turarts, you are.
Yeah.
Story is one of the big draws of the game. But like I said, if you don't start closing some of those threads and telling different stories, it 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 it's a run-on sentence.
And maybe, like, especially with this Jaina thing, to kind of bring it back, maybe that's what they're starting to do, because Jaina's been a thread for a long time. We've
Yeah.
talked about the guy hopping. We've talked about maybe this is kind of the direction of a new WoW.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm excited. I mean, there's always part of the reason that I'm always, very interested in a new expansion is because it's like, okay, well, what idea or concept are they going to really glom onto and run with this expansion? And it seems like they take a lot of really good steps every time. Occasionally there's a little misstep here and there, but like it's always very interesting to see where they go. And I'm really curious to see how they take the positives of Legion and run with it, because I think there were a lot of really, really positive things about Legion. Like I really like it as an expansion, but I see a lot of areas of improvement, and it just makes me all the more curious for what's next. Which it feels weird to say like, hey, I'm ready for what's next when we're at the cusp of 7.3. That's another feeling that I wish Blizzard would find a way to combat for me personally. Is I feel like we hit about 6.1, 5.1, whatever 0.1, and I'm like, all right, ready for the next expansion, please. I would like to find them or have them find a way to keep me a little more invested for a longer period of time. But I can't tell them what that would be. So good luck, Blizzard.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I haven't, like I said, I haven't read anything for 7.3. I know we go to Argus. That's a huge draw for me. I have to temper my expectations, though, because traditionally there's not a lot of storytelling in patches these days.
Yeah.
And granted, there wasn't a whole ton before in previous expansions and stuff like that.
Except
so
5.1.
I'm, except for 5.1.
5.1.
Again, 5.1. But the idea of where we're going and the story implications of what's going to happen with that and everything is really a big draw for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I don't know how far it's going to go. How much further is it actually going to take us until it's time for that next patch after that?
From listening to the dev Q&A, Ian sounded very excited about how they were unlocking things and they were going to keep us engaged. So it got me hopeful that we were going to get more of that story that we seem to have been missing. Not to get your hopes up, like keep them down, quench them a little bit.
Oh, they're up. You got them up so high. I am the highest hoped person there is right now. Woo, 7.3.
But I'm sure Thist can attest to this. He sounded very he was excited. Like he's sitting here talking about we found some solutions. This is how we're it got me excited about WoW. It got me excited about it.
Yeah, of course. Wow. And I mean, one of the big things is that if Ian's excited about it, because I mean, one of the things that I like about him being game director, and this isn't to say that, anyone else who's been in that position before was bad. No, I'm just saying that he really seems to acknowledge, okay, we had problems with this before, we're trying to correct it. And if he's excited about something, then it means it's a new system or a new thing that they're going to try, and I'm all for that. So hopefully it's as engaging as I want. And I mean, John, I hope for your sake that it's something that really pulls you in and just, gives you that feed that you're really looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Legion it ended up not having as long a tail as I kind of hoped for me, but it got close. I mean, I cared about the end game longer than I have in the past. Like, it was a bunch of steps in the right direction. But ultimately, the biggest problem came down to, I think I might be done with dungeons, and I think I might be done with raids, unless something really crazy happens there. And making it more difficult and harder to get into turns out not the solution to make me care. So, we'll see where those go. But if If people are happy with that, I don't want them to change. Like, I'm not asking WoW to change for my behalf. If they're seeing more people in dungeons than ever before and people love mythics, then great, more power to them. It's never going to be the thing for me. Like, dungeons for me were always the thing that I could just easily, casually queue up and just dive into and have a good time with. And that stopped being rewarding, and so I stopped doing it. Raiding is too much of a time investment and not a particularly fun experience outside of the people that I hang out with. That's probably not going to change, and that's okay. But until they add a third thing that's not grinding or feeling irrelevant in the world, you know, I'm just going to end up bouncing prior to the patch, prior to the first or second patch. So
the new thing, John, it's called Raidgens. It's a mix between dungeons and raids, but it's all story, and you go in and have fun, and they give you presents.
Great. That sounds awesome. I'm in for that.
Cool. Okay. So before we end, we've still got a few minutes left. I just want to bring up something that, John, I don't know if you've seen it or not. Aludra DM'd me about this, and I just... Okay, so not to bring too much battle pets into the show, but we're always talking about the absolute saddest pets in World of Warcraft. You know, they're brought up every now and then. So, John, did you ever do the quest in Hillsbrad where you have to like harvest spider egg sacs off of bears?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a pet that matches that, and for the longest time, that was the saddest pet in World of Warcraft.
An infected bear?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's just like, oh, your entire life is you have egg sacs that are sucking your life away on your back. That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
The new pet with the last round of raid pets that was added is the Soul Broken Whelpling, which basically Arthas tortured this whelpling and sucked out its soul in front of like its living mother. New saddest pet, right? There's a new one now that's, if I remember correctly, I think it drops off, I'm guessing the same boss where you get Facey the mount. And John, you're familiar with Facey. The pet is the soul of a child that was used to create one of the Facey mounts.
That's dark. That's not sad. That's just
Sweet
like...
baby Jesus.
Yeah. But, I mean, first of all, it's a pet as well.
Ben, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can.
Why are you choosing to end our episode on child murder?
Well, it's not that. It's just that I just wanted to bring it up because I just can't believe it. And it's so... What the crap? Right? Like, seriously. What?
What are you doing, Ben? What are you doing? Why are you ending this show this way? Why would you bring that up? Ben's like, hey, everybody, we had some laughs. We had some good times. We all had some fun. Hey, I know it's about time for the show to end, but you see this abomination of a being? That's a dead kid.
No,
good night, everybody.
We go from bananas and pajamas having sex to this. Like, how does this happen?
Like that. Apparently, I ruin all.
What are you doing?
Good Lord.
I'm just going to say, I'm not going to ride that mount.
Although I have...
No!
It was a bit! No, it's
no, the soul of the kid is a pet, but there's a mount with a bunch of faces, and that's where they come from.
Good Lord.
I broke the show.
Although I have been thinking this whole show about the banana thing, how that would happen.
What, banana sex?
Yeah. Does one get unpeeled, or is it peel protection?
Wait, if you... Okay, so we have the bananas and pajamas. No. If you peel them, is that like... Is the inside... Like...
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wonder, I have a feeling there is something online I could search to find this, but I'm scared what would come up, so I have not tried yet.
I will, for the good of mankind, I will Google, how do bananas have sex?
Oh.
Image search.
Oh,
Because
the
I don't...
image- That's gonna be bad.
John, that's not the way to do it. You have safe search on?
No.
No, that's not good.
Results are inconclusive.
Okay, I can accept that.
Okay, I'm happy with that too.
I think this is a better way, better ending to the show.
I'm sorry, everybody.
It's better than child murder. You're turning...
Yeah, I'm just saying the Legion's bad.
Did I tell you the story about my dad where he called my mom into the room and he said, Carolyn, come here. And she comes into the room and he says, look at this kid. And she's telling me this story because she's telling me she's worried about my father. And she says she looks at the computer and he has a picture of this child that she's never seen before on his computer screen. And he says, look at this kid. And my mom says, yeah, well, like wondering where he's going with this. And he says, isn't she just like one of the most adorable kids you've ever seen? She looks so happy and all of that. And my mom's like, yes. And he says, yeah, she died. And my mom says, then why would you show it to me? And he says, because isn't that sad? You're becoming that person, Ben. You're becoming that person.
You know what it is? I'm working too much. That's what it is. I'm going to blame work on this. I'm sorry, everybody. Send all your hate mail to azerothroundtable@gmail.com.
And this is going to be the episode that Ian listens to. I'm calling it.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm finally going to check this show out.
Well, no, maybe it'll be one of those, oh, man, that is really bad. Oh, we need to get that out of the game. That's my point. It's bad.
This episode should not be, but could very easily be titled Banana Sex and Child Murder. And I don't think that's okay.
No, it's not okay. Wow.
Oh, good lord.
So, then we had a good talk about Jaina, though. Jaina's cool.
Jaina
Hey,
and
guys.
Old Gods is legit.
Jaina.
Jaina, look at that picture.
I'm not even going to say the second thing that I was going to say. Should I?
No, don't trust your instincts
Do it.
anymore.
I don't know. Our guest is asking me to do it.
I just want to see how far we can go down this rabbit hole.
Well, no, it's just the whole idea is so okay. We have this whole long conversation about Jaina and like ideas and just neat things that could possibly happen. But can you imagine if someone was just all, yeah, I don't know what we should put on the BlizzCon art. I don't know. Can you draw Jaina? Yeah. Okay.
So your thought is like, what if somebody just felt like drawing Jaina, and here it has generated an entire topic for a show and so much news and discussion, but maybe it's just somebody wanted to draw Jaina?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yes. And with that, Turarts, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sorry for being me.
Oh, you guys are fine.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at Turarts. That's Turarts, or not Twitch. I guess you can. You can, but on Twitter is what I meant, the tweets. I do the Game Case Go show every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, except not this Sunday. We cover Blizzard stuff sometimes. Sometimes we cover the other stuff. I don't know. Cuddles decides. I just go with it. And then I'm also now officially a co-host of The Converted, which is the Convert to Raid Guild podcast. And that airs every other Monday, and we have guildies on, and it's tons of fun. And I now hoard occasionally, too. That has changed since last show.
Do.
I do. Fist convinced me. I girl crush on Fist. She's a cutie, but she convinced me. I am now a hoardy. Partly.
Nice.
A little bit.
Welcome
like
to the
my
right
pinky.
side.
Fist has done more conversion for the Horde than I think anything. I think like
Yeah. I'd say so.
yeah.
She should be the new faction leader.
I mean, really.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. At this point, yes.
Yeah. That's where I am.
So Musicita did mention, hey, there's color-changing kittens and mounts in game.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's what I thought you
That's
were
happy
going to
stuff.
talk about, Ben.
That's what I did too. I thought you were going there.
That's what I don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's color-changing stuff. That's awesome.
I was
so
like,
pretty.
oh, I bet Ben's excited about the stupid cat that changes colors, and we're going to hear about it. And
I'm
then,
really excited about the stupid cat that changes colors.
And then all of a sudden, we took a turn down diagonally.
Nocturnally, yeah.
Why did he say diagonally? Come on.
It took me an embarrassing long time to realize that that spelled diagonally.
It's okay. Me too. Especially after that, I'm like, how can you say that weird? It's Diagon Alley. Come on.
Yeah.
But it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
It is.
I just said the same exact thing twice. Anyways, John, where can people find you?
Hey, if you want to hear more from me, and I will not be talking about any of the topics that we discussed today, you can follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger, or another topic we somehow avoided today. I talk about Heroes of the Storm on Core, which is the Heroes of the Storm show that I do, part of the Frog Pants Network, and you can find more information about that at heroesforyou.com. Ben, if for some reason people want to hear more from you, especially
I'm losing followers at this point,
especially in the realm of battle pets for some reason.
Oh, we'll talk about it. We're recording tomorrow. We will talk about it. We'll say how sad it is. Yeah, if you want, I don't recommend it at this point, but you can. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage. I do a show with Lucha called Battle Pets, where we usually keep it really light and happy, but it might get sad next episode. Who knows? I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. This show, however, Azeroth Roundtable, please don't leave. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. Like I said, any questions, comments, you want to tell me how horrible a person I am and how I ruined your day or night or whatever, send those emails to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, like this episode. Thanks. We have other ones where I'm not a jerk, and you can listen to all those on AzerothRoundtable.com, on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn, as well as Alpha Geek Radio, and everywhere else that fine podcasts are found. Somehow they let us in with all of them. And yeah, I think that's everything. Except for one last little bit that John gets to talk about.
Well, hey, everybody. I see you standing there. You're looking at this podcast and you're saying, my, what a mighty fine podcast that was, till it kind of fell off at the end. But generally speaking, I liked most of it, and I'd like to give it some money in the hopes that maybe those rough edges can be hammered down and the smooth parts can remain nice and smooth. Well, the best way to do that is to head on over to patreon.com/AzerothRT, where you can support the show and encourage better behavior out of all of us. A special thank you to our Murloc Club. That is Aaron, Simon, and Haster. Thank you all for your patronage. And, patreon.com/AzerothRT. That's where you do it. Like bananas.
In or out of pajamas?
Depends on if you want to be safe.
And that's where the podcast is going to end. Yeah, I'm sorry about that dark turn. John, I thought that you'd be interested in hearing about how horrible that was. I thought wrong.
It was maybe a little dark at the end, but it was fine. It was funny. It made for good humors.
Yeah.
Ben, you should be
I'm a
proud.
horrible person, and I'm ashamed of myself.
Sometimes you have to be awful to be good. And Ben, you're making it awfully good.
Sometimes I have to be the awful person, and that's what it is.
So, well done, sir. You did it. It was you, Fredo. It was you. Hey.
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm gonna link it in chat.
What?
Just so that you can see
the picture of
the baby death. What are you doing?
Oh, do you want me to read you the yellow text for it?
No, I don't. You've already taken us down this road.
Okay, there we go. Of course, then again, when I did show you that picture of shoot, I forgot what their names are all of a sudden. Can you guys tell I'm really tired? Um, the whatever. The fusion dance from Full Metal Alchemist that I showed you, John. You laughed and you thought it was
I
great.
did think that was funny. That was funny. That was good humors.
What I do is not. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, we're gonna let Sleepy Ben go to bed. We gave you an extra long pre-show, so we're gonna give you a bit of a short post-show tonight. Thank you, everybody who joined us. Thank you, chat room, for being awesome. And, even when you weren't awesome, you know who you were.
Me.
Thank you for being there. And you all have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.